Welcome back to Becoming Her, a weekly personal growth update that I, Clarissa, CEO of She Rocks at College and creator of Educated, the Art of Becoming a Good Student, do every Tuesday since October 12th. So this is a weekly series that I'm doing until the end of 2021, where I am basically showing the behind the scenes of what it looks like to be on the path towards trying to achieve a goal. And so for those of you who don't know, the goal setting process that I do is called a becoming goal. And the whole point of the goal isn't necessarily to hit the mark, to reach the goal, but it's all about doing the inner work, the mindset work, the action work, the thought work, all the things, the emotional work to become the type of person who can achieve that goal. And so for me, my becoming goal for 2021 was to hit $100,000 in income solely from my academic life coaching company. So the company, I've had it since 2015 was the first time that I put together a little mini program that I sold for $97. And through the course of almost 7 years, the company has made multiple six figures, but we haven't done six figures in a 12-month period. And so that has been my goal for 2021. And we are close to 60,000, I think, for the year. I also had a goal of having 100 students go through my program, Educated, the Art of Becoming a Good Student, in a 12-month period. We are currently at something like 27 students, but over the course of the actual company and coaching students, I've worked with, the last time I checked, which was 2 weeks ago, 517 students I've impacted in some sort of capacity, either through workshops or one-on-one clients or through the various different programs that I've had since 2015. So lots of things are happening. So what I'm celebrating this week, because we finally came up with a formula, the celebrations that I'm having this week are I have 126 people officially signed up for the email updates for the Your Best Semester Yet Challenge, but we have over 1,500 students inside of the Facebook group. We did an initiation sort of ceremony where we did reflecting on the year. We also set goals for 2022, and a lot of students really gave great feedback how much they loved that workshop that we did to kick off the Your Best Semester Yet Challenge. Day one, the first video dropped yesterday. A lot of students are saying that they're learning so much from just that video alone. That's helping, that they know that the rest of the 4 days are going to help them really prepare for their spring 2022 semester. I'm celebrating that this is week 11 of me doing these personal growth updates. So that means that next week it'll be 3 full months of me showing up every single Tuesday, giving you guys a behind the scenes look at everything that's working, that's not working, my failures, my successes, as I am working towards this particular goal. Another thing that I am celebrating is just doing a really good job of self-coaching around all of the drama that I have around my goal and this launch that I'm doing, and just like home and personal stuff, which is what I titled today's Becoming Her, because let me keep to the format. So what's working, like I said, is the self-coaching. What's working is continuing to show up even on the days where I'm really tired, even on the days where I am not being the version of myself that I desire to be, where I am, A+ is like always the goal for all of us. Like, I am producing what I call B- work right now. And I'm really proud of myself for not doing what most people would do, which is waiting for the circumstances to be perfect, waiting for things to align just right, waiting for circumstances to change and be favorable in order to show up. I'm basically living a no excuse life right now. I'm showing up the best that I can, and some days that's A+ work, some days that's B- work, but I will tell you that I have a lot of drama about that. And I actually just got coaching like 10 minutes ago from my life coach on this, because what's not working for me right now is how I feel about how I'm showing up. So basically my thoughts about how I'm showing up. So if you've been following me on Instagram, or you've been following me or you're one of my private students, or you've seen me anywhere talk about mom life. The biggest thing that I have been struggling with since day one with Adelina, my daughter, is the fact that she does not sleep through the night. When she was about 8 or 10 months old, I hired a sleep consultant to help us to get her to finally sleep through the night. And we got it to work, and that lasted maybe about a month to 3 months. And then she just reverted back to waking up every couple hours, 4 hours, and we've been in that pattern for I don't even know how many months. She used to be able to put herself to sleep, so we would just put her in the crib and be able to walk out of the room, and she would put herself to sleep and stay asleep, and she's not doing that anymore. We have to stay in the room with her for like half an hour for her to fall asleep and then sneak out. She's waking up every 2 to 4 hours asking for water or just crying, wanting us to come and stay in the room with her. We've tried letting her cry it out, but she just cries bloody murder for like an hour. And I just do not feel comfortable letting my child cry it out, especially when she's causing herself to cough and gag and like all that kind of stuff. So I've been functioning on anywhere between sometimes 2 hours of sleep, sometimes 4 hours of sleep, on a really good day, 6 hours of sleep. And I have been operating on half capacity. I'm so glad to hear that, RF. I'm glad that my videos are changing your life, and thank you for blessing me. I'm glad you love the videos. So I've been functioning on what I call half capacity. I feel like the thoughts that I'm having are I'm getting dumber by the minute. I'm not able to show up the way that I desire to show up. I'm not showing up as my best self. I'm not being the best mom. I'm not being the best coach. I'm not being the best wife. I'm like super snappy and passive aggressive to my husband, because when I'm really tired, I want like my desire, or like I wouldn't say it's my desire, but it's like just my default is to blame him as though it's his fault that my child isn't sleeping. And then I want him to like wake up with her, or like him to do all these things so that I can get more sleep. And it's not helpful, because that's not how I want to show up in our partnership. It's also not my daughter's fault, but sometimes I do find myself like getting upset with her in my mind and in my heart, because I'm like, child, why will you just not sleep? And so I've been doing a lot of, I'll put it this way. I know that the situation and the circumstance is what it is, and that I don't know at what point she's going to end up sleeping through the night. So I know that I just need to operate on the amount of sleep it is that I'm getting. And so I have been doing my best in planning as much as I can, in showing up to the best of my ability, and doing everything that I can with the amount of sleep it is that I'm getting. But in that, I have been judging myself for how much I've been getting done, or the lack of how much I've been getting done. I've been judging myself about the fact that she's almost 2 and she's still not sleeping through the night. I'm comparing myself a lot to other moms who own businesses, and in my mind, they have no excuses, and they're still showing up, and they're able to get up every single day and like go to the gym and show up as though they don't have kids. And they have makeup every single day. They're dressed to the nines every single day. And so I've been judging myself a lot for not being able to like meet this perceived standard that I have for where I think I should be at this point of momhood. And so that hasn't really been working for me, because although from the outside looking in, most people can't tell the difference. They don't, like, on the other end of it, you don't know that I'm operating at half capacity. I mean, now because I'm letting you know, but you don't know, like, basically from the outside looking in, you can't tell that like I'm struggling due to the fact that I'm not getting any sleep. But I've been judging myself a lot for it, and it just doesn't feel good to have those thoughts about myself and to spend so much time and energy comparing myself. And so I ended up bringing this to my life coach today. And the thought that we landed on that I'm going to be practicing, because it's not going to be a thought that I automatically have. The thoughts that I automatically have are, oh my God, I'm a hot mess and I'm doing everything at the last minute and this is so out of character for me and I'm not showing up the way it is that I want to show up and I'm not being who it is that I want to be. And oh my God, all these people are probably having these thoughts about me and how much of a hot mess I am and how they can't believe that I still can't get my daughter to sleep through the night and that I'm complaining about the fact that I don't have sleep. And to be quite honest, people are probably not thinking these things about me, but I'm thinking these things about me, because if I'm thinking that other people are thinking that about me, it really means that I'm thinking that about me. And so the coaching that I received today from my life coach is, we landed on the thought that I'm controlling everything that I can because I am, and I'm still showing up. Because the alternative here is for me to let the fact that I'm not getting any sleep be an excuse, where I'm not showing up, say, for these weekly personal growth updates, or I'm not doing weekly YouTube videos, or I'm not doing challenges, or I'm not showing up for my students. I'm not doing the things that I'm not taking care of my daughter. Like, the alternative is me just letting that be an excuse and waiting until she finally sleeps through the night in order for me to go after the things it is that I want. But I'm not doing that. The truth of the matter is that everything that is within my control, I'm taking responsibility for, and that's just going to have to be enough. It's just going to have to be okay that I'm operating at half capacity. It's just going to have to be okay that my best work right now is B- work. And so it is my work now to actually practice this thought in the moment, because there are going to be times where I only get 2 hours of sleep and I have a calendar full of things that I need to get done and I'm feeling really crappy and I'm annoyed that I'm tired and I'm angry that my child woke up at 5 instead of 6:30 and that I have all these things and I'm going to be wishing that I got more sleep, and I'm going to have to, in those moments, just remind myself of this thought, practice this thought. I am tired, but I'm controlling everything that I can. And that's just going to have to be okay for today. And then halfway through the day, when I might take a nap and then I want to judge myself for the fact that I needed a nap in the middle of the day to be able to get through the day, I'm going to have to remind myself again, I took a nap because I'm tired and I'm controlling everything that I can control. And that's just going to have to be okay for now. This is my work right now, because I have spent the past 12 months doing so much mindset work, so much emotional work around building my belief up that I'm the academic life coach for college students. I've been focusing a lot on that self-concept and building up that identity. And I've gotten myself to a place where I'm past the pit of despair and I'm in the self-confidence climb in the journey to becoming that I talk about a lot. And so I feel like when it comes to the business aspect of it, it's just like I got to keep on keeping on. But there are certain things inside of my personal life where the thoughts that I had about my business and who I was as an academic life coach, I'm noticing that pattern is showing up in how I think about myself as a mom and how I think about myself as a wife, and also even with like my weight loss. So at the beginning of this year, and if you watch the first episode of when I started doing these Becoming Her series, so the first episode that I started doing was on October 12th, and I believe it's called Becoming Her, the Initiation. I talk about the beliefs that I had at the beginning of the year. The main belief that I had was I should be further along. Like, reaching 6 figures within a year, like I should be past that already. Like 7 years into a business, I should be past it already. And so that thought was not serving me, and it was causing me to spin out and to quit, do what I call mini quits. And whenever you do mini quits, it basically keeps you stagnant wherever it is that you're at, because you're basically having to sort of like restart over and over again. So you're not really making as much progress as you would have made had you just like accepted where you were and kept going. So that thought, I should be further along, I'm having that same thought regarding my weight. I should have already lost the baby weight. I shouldn't still be working on losing the baby weight. And I'm also having that thought regarding the amount of sleep that I'm getting. Adelina should be sleeping through the night, and I should have it together by now. I've been a mom already for 20 months. Why don't I already have it figured out? How come I haven't figured out mom life and entrepreneur life yet together? So those same thoughts that I was having about the business that I have spent the last 12 months working through, and I got myself to a really clean place with them. Now I'm going to need to start doing that work in regards to functioning at half capacity, not getting a lot of sleep, and also with the weight loss goal. So that's where I'm at right now. That is my update for this particular week. There are 4 days left in the year if we include today, right? Or, yeah, wait, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, 4 days left in the year, including today. And like I told y'all a few weeks ago, at the beginning of December, I'm taking myself through the finish line. What that means is I keep working towards the goal until I reach the goal. So it's not like just because there are only 4 days left in the year and I haven't, quote unquote, hit my goal, that I'm gonna take my foot off the brake. If anything, I'm gonna put my foot down on the grade even more, on the brake, on the gas pedal even more, and make sure to get myself through that finish line. And that analogy comes from races. It's like when you're at the end of the race, you don't want to slow down before you actually get to the finish line. Like, you want to make sure that you run through so that you're the number one person to cross the finish line. And that's like the same concept that I'm talking about here. Just because there are 4 days left doesn't mean that I put my hands up and just say, oh, guess I'm not going to win the race. It's like, no, there are still 4 days left. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep working towards our goal. And even when the end of the year comes, like, if I haven't hit the goal, I'm going to keep working on the goal until I hit it. This is how you achieve your goals. You keep going until you achieve it. That is the point of it. So that's where I'm at for this week. One decision that I did make regarding these Becoming Her series is that I am going to continue doing them in 2022, but I'm actually going to be switching them to be a monthly update versus a weekly update. So I committed for it to being weekly until the end of the year, and I told myself that I would evaluate at the end of the year if I wanted to continue doing them weekly or if I wanted to continue doing them at all. And I personally love doing them because it helps me to be able to look back and see how far I've come, and just to see like the progress that I'm making, just to like see the progression in like my thoughts and my actions and my emotions, and just see all of the personal growth that I had walked myself through over the past 3 months. Like, if you go back and you watch the series from like day one to now, you're going to see like all the work that I did to get myself where I am today. It's like night and day. Like, it's just, it's insane when you like actually take the time to reflect on where you started and where you are now and seeing that actual growth. So I'm going to continue doing that because I like to be able to look back and see that progress. But I do find that I don't always have something to update you guys on every single week. So I'm going to be doing a monthly sort of reflection and update in 2022 versus doing them every single week. And so with that, I'm hoping that I'll have more to share, more to update you on when I do the updates. I'm glad that you're glad that I'm going to continue because this has been a lot of fun for me. So I'm going to let y'all go and end this particular update here because that is all I have for you. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. And for those of you who are here with me live, thank you so much for being here with me. And if you are watching the replay, make sure that you comment and just let me know that you are watching the replay and what you've been loving about this series so far. Have a great rest of your week. And if we don't chat before the new year, which we should, because there's a new YouTube video, a new YouTube live stream happening on Thursday, I'll talk to you in 2022. Bye.